Hi, this is Jeff Hacker, and this is my presentation on screencasting. Okay, as an introduction, in this presentation, I'm going to be giving you a detailed report on the ways that I've utilized screencasting in my chemistry classroom. I have pretty extensive knowledge in screencasting. I've produced hundreds of videos that go along with my courses. In this week's readings, I learned that screencasts can be used for both demonstrations, lectures, and providing student feedback. It was suggested that the video length should be between 5 and 10 minutes. Videos should focus on a main topic, leaving out minor details, and feedback on student work should be authentic and not reused. It kind of loses the meaning otherwise. It also did encourage you to have your students still work things out on paper. Okay, one of the ways that I use screencasting is for extra practice for my students. And so I give them opportunities to practice at home when I'm unavailable for questions. So like in the evening or the weekend, if they want to work some more problems out, I give them a playlist of problems. So here's an example on my YouTube channel. Of course, here's a commercial, and it's not monetized, so I don't get any money for it. Let's change it to maybe a different video. Oh, another commercial, of course. So let's see, I'll show you how they would use it. Okay, so if they get in here, let's see here. This video will start playing. There's some extra videos here. Here's an example, okay? Here's a name. I want them to write a formula, so I encourage them to get to this part, pause the video, and then try it out for themselves, okay? And so they look at their periodic table. They notice calcium always has a charge of 2+. Oxygen always has a charge of 2-. Their equal and opposite charges will cancel out. The formula for calcium oxide should be CaO. The C and the O are capitalized. Then they can play and check their work.
Calcium oxide.
I don't know if you can hear the video because I don't have the paid screencast. I don't know if it does computer audio, but I'm talking the way through it. So that's how it would normally work. All right, so going back to the presentation. I find this is an excellent way to share lessons with students that need to make up work for their absences. If students, miss class for an illness, they have an appointment, they're out for an activity or something, I have these lessons to keep them current in their studies. And during COVID, I recorded every lesson that I teach throughout the year, and so they're available. Any lesson I'm going to teach, I have a video for. I can put it up, and it lessens that workload on those kids who miss class. Likewise, if I'm gone, if I'm sick or something, I'm out for any reason, I don't have to worry about the quality of my substitute teacher and their knowledge of chemistry to assist my students. Instead of just punting and putting in a DVD, I can actually provide them with a lecture and practice exercises that kind of keeps them on schedule so that we can get through the material we need to get through. Turning snow days into go days. My district is a 1-to-1 technology district, and so every student has a school-issued laptop. And so during inclement weather, we no longer have snow days. We have go days. And so what those are, students are given asynchronous lessons. So that means it's offline, it's not via Zoom. And that way, if the students have to do something, they have to go help dad shovel the driveway, or maybe, their parents aren't home, they have younger siblings they have to attend to. They don't have to be, at their desk at a certain time. They can do it whenever they can get to it. But they are expected to have a lesson and some kind of homework that should take them about 30 minutes. Because of this, we never have to make up snow days at the end of the year, and that's kind of nice. So here I can give you an example. I've linked like a PhET simulation here, and this is something where I would give the students a lesson. And I would actually go in here and I would make a video that kind of shows them how to utilize this software. And they can show different bond angles and things. They can talk about the molecular geometry. Could show them how they could kind of manipulate the software, and they can kind of play around and build different things. Okay, if they want to build like a tetrahedron, they could stick like 4 things around here. There's that tetrahedron. They can look 3-dimensionally what it's like. They can go down here and actually check actual models. So if I give them some problem sets with, let's say I was going to give them boron trifluoride. Okay, and if they predict the model should be a trigonal planar, well, there it is. They can check their work. There it is, trigonal planar. So 3 okay, around that central atom and it's flat. Okay, if I give them something like ammonia, they know that this is going to be a trigonal pyramid. Okay, and they can manipulate and see three-dimensionally what that thing looks like. And so that's something where I can give them instructions and they can get in there and play around with it themselves. I can give my students feedback for online quizzes. So I use screencast videos to provide feedback for quizzes that I have students take in class. And so it's kind of meaningful that way. They just, when they take the quiz, they don't simply just get the answers back. I can demonstrate how this works. Once again, I don't know if you'll be able to hear the sound. There is sound where I'm working through the problems. So I can show you kind of how this works. All right, so here's an example of a quiz I gave in the spring of 23 talking about limiting reactants and percent yield. And so let's say we get into this and here it asks a question. The students have some different choices. And when they answer it and they finish it, you're going to see there's a answer key and show it's going to give you a video. And so this is on my YouTube channel. It is not searchable. So students cannot go in there and search for the answers for my quiz keys. They have to get it back as a feedback from me, and then they can watch it. So if they go in here, here's an example. Once again, I don't know if you can hear it. You probably can't because I don't have the premium version, but here I'll show you. I get in here and I just work through it. I'm talking them through it the whole time. I'm showing them how to balance the formula. I'm showing them how to set up the train tracks or the conversions. But anyway, this makes it a lot more meaningful for the old students because they can get in here and actually see what they screwed up on. So it's not just simply what the correct answer was, but how you get to it. So I think that's a good use of this. Okay, let's see. Let's get back in here. So feedback for online quizzes. I can give students laboratory experiences that they can watch and take part in if they were absent, or if it's something where I just had limited materials and we're doing it this one time and they were gone. And so one of my teaching partners, Mr. Willems, and I have made a lot of these videos. We made a lot of them during the pandemic. And so here's an example. Well, maybe, where is it? It opened the wrong thing. Let's see. Well, here I can give you an example. Here, I'll just go into my YouTube channel. So literally it looks like this. So there's my face. Click on my face. Literally there's a couple hundred videos on this, but here's like an example of a lab we did. And I would have this linked. That's not me, that's Mr. Willems. I'm way better looking. But anyway, I'm doing the camera work on this one. But you can see he's showing some different parts of being metals, non-metals, metalloids, and we're taping this and we're putting acid on them. It gives the students just an opportunity to see things if they weren't here. Here we're testing their malleability. We're trying to smash them flat with a hammer. Okay, and there's a thing here we do some conductivity testing. That little thing makes beepy noises. You put it in there if it's a metal. Okay, so anyway, just another opportunity to give students. Oops. And it has sound. I don't know if you can hear it. Let's see.